How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Positive Mindset Podcast, where we work together to raise our vibration, lift our perspective, and build a positive mindset. My name is Henry, and in this episode, we're going to talk about why you can't change. If you are someone that wants to do something, wants to become something, but for some reason seems to end up in the same position every single time, this is the episode for you, because we're going to talk about how you can change your perspective and mindset so that you can become truly what you desire. But before we get started, we're going to take a few moments to slow down, zero in. We're going to take some deep, healing, meditative breaths to help us align on the frequency that we want in our lives. So you can pick a word. It could be love, joy, happiness, abundance, whatever frequency you want, and we're going to take a deep breath in, and as you're breathing in, you're going to say that word over and over and over again. Really charge yourself up with that energy, and then as you're holding your breath, visualize yourself doing something in that frequency. And once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you, and you'll be in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. And out. Well, we're going to take another deep breath. This one is about alignment, about getting ourselves in receiving mode so that we can receive the message that we need to hear to get us in that positive perspective. So just imagine that you are surrounded by the most healing, uplifting energy that's meant specifically for you. It could have a certain color, a certain taste, a certain smell, however you imagine it. And when you breathe it in, it's going to charge you up. It's going to break down the negativity, the blocks, the weight, everything that's just been holding you back. And once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you, and you'll be in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take another deep breath in. And out. So I've been thinking about how to deliver this message, because I want to make sure that it finds you in the right way. When we discover something, the perspective that we have when we discover it is extremely important. It's the difference between accepting and growing from something and completely missing or even rejecting what it is that you're observing. So I figured I'd just walk you through how I came to this conclusion so that way we can connect with it together. So like I talked about in the previous episode, I've been researching a lot. I want to expand on my social media. So I've been watching a lot of people that are in the same space as me. And I'm looking at channels that are really big, that have grown really fast or have just built large audiences over time. I wanted to see what it is that they're doing so that I can do the same, because I want to reach more people. I want to expand this conversation. And I noticed something, and it really started to get under my skin, because there's what we want to hear and what we need to hear. And it's always been important to me. It's the power of this podcast, I believe, is the ability to understand what you need to hear versus me saying what you want to hear. There is a lot of validation happening in these messages that I'm watching on social media. And although they're true in most cases, truth is not always where we grow, because there's depth to the truth. And the specific thing that I want to talk about, if you are someone that's been stuck, if you're trying to build a positive life, if you're trying to grow, trying to expand, it's this one. So yes, everything that is happening for you, but you are not going through something difficult. You are not going through a struggle. You are not going through a pain so that you can receive something on the other end. This is so important to know. We think that the hill we're climbing, that if we just push through it, on the other side, there's a reward. You see, if this hill is something external and you're hoping for something external on the other end for it, that's the wrong focus. If you truly want to be different internally, you have to be different. If you're trying to push your way through an external thing to receive an external thing, you're not changing your internal state. And if you don't change your internal state, no matter where you go, no matter what you receive, no matter what you're doing, you're still bringing yourself and your current state there. There's a reason why there's people that have what it is that we desire and they're negative. There's a reason that there's people that don't have what we desire and they're happy. They feel good. They're in flow state. They wake up every day in joy. There's a reason. It's because the external things, including life's obstacles, do not truly matter, and we shouldn't look at them as something to conquer, something to go through in order to receive something. The growth is always within. This earth, it is not just hard right now. Times are not the most difficult that they've ever been. And I know it seems that way. I see all the jokes, the sarcasm, all the things on social media where people are talking about they're tired of having the worst ever this, or going through the worst ever depression, or going through all these things. I understand times are hard. But the history of the earth is a very hard one. That's because this is earth school. This is not heaven. This is not the place where everything is supposed to be perfect. It's a place for us to grow, not to grow necessarily externally, but to grow internally. And so if you've been struggling, but you're like, I say all the positive mantras, I listen to the positive things, I watch the positive content, I'm trying to be a positive person. Is your goal something external? Are you trying to be positive so that you can make it through your job and maybe get the promotion? Are you trying to be positive so you can make it through a difficult school situation so that you can graduate and then go get the great job? Are you trying to be positive because of an external thing and hoping that if you can maintain your positive energy through it, that you'll achieve something great or receive something positive on the other end? That's the wrong focus. If you keep doing that, you take yourself there. If you want to change, you have to change within. It's not about trying to make it through something difficult so that you can receive something good. It's about learning to just be well within. When you become well within, the whole external experience becomes beautiful. Because the world is not as it is. The world is as you are. If you're going through a struggle right now, there's probably a struggle internally that you need to shift. That doesn't mean that if you're driving down the road and there's a wall and you're going to crash in the wall that you don't turn and just crash into it because you got to work on something internally. Of course, you pay attention to the things that are happening in life and you protect your well-being. It just means we got to stop thinking that the difficult things are happening so that we can receive something good on the other end. Because that puts the energy out there that you have to have something bad to receive something good, that you have to do something hard to receive something good, or you have to do something difficult to receive something easy. And that's not the energy that you want, because that will never end. Anytime you want something different in your mind, you've created the reality that you must go through something difficult to receive it. And if that's the experience you want, then keep creating it. But if you want to experience something different, you have to change within. You will never, on the long run, maintain something that is different than you. For better or worse, it can't happen. The law of attraction will not let it. When you decide to change within, then you can attract something different. When your actions align with your thoughts, when your thoughts align with what you want to create, then you'll change. So it's not about hoping for better times or hoping to get through the difficult thing to the good. It's about becoming the thing that's so powerful, that's so enlightened, that's so healed, that's the situation you receive through the law of attraction. I hope this makes sense. I hope as you start reflecting, as you start looking at your life, you're realizing that I've been looking externally. I've been trying to make it through something external so that I can make something else external that's positive without truly changing me. If you can't change the external world, that's not how this works. The external world is a creation from you. It's not something separate from you. It's not something that you change and then you go experience something else. You have to change within. That's what everything's about. It's about leveling up and becoming the you that you want to be. When you become the you that you want to be, the external doesn't matter. Because you're the you that you want to be. Imagine feeling the way you want to feel. Whether that's joy, happiness, power, strength. Imagine that. It doesn't matter what's going on external then, because everything else becomes an experience as the version of you that you want to be. That's what this life's about. So don't stop looking at the positive messages. It's not that these messages are bad or good. They just are. And if they've been serving you, that's great. Keep allowing them to serve. But if they're keeping you from looking within and making you focus on something external, and that if you just hang on a little bit longer, or if you're going through a difficult time, that means you're leveling up, or if you're going through something hard, that the universe is preparing you for something new, that's not the truth. Everything exists all at once. That's the truth. You don't need to go through anything. You don't go through difficult so that you can receive good. It's all an experience for growth, and continual growth takes focus. It takes finding things that help you grow, not just being in things that make you grow. That's where we got to change. This is a huge opportunity for me. This message is talking directly to me. I hope that it resonates with you, because I feel like we're on this journey together. So let's take some time to reflect. It's Friday, the weekend's coming up. This is one of those messages that gets listened to throughout the weekend. So I want to take a deep breath together. And when you breathe in, really look at your life. Really reflect. Have you been hoping to get through something difficult so that you can get something good? Have you been wishing that someone would tell you that all of this was for a reason, and that when you make it through it, you get the good thing at the other end? It's okay if that's where you've been, because I've been there too. But it's time to take our power back. So when you breathe in, and then you're holding your breath, visualize yourself leveling up within. Visualize yourself becoming the version of you that you are meant to be. And then when you exhale, remove the expectations that things externally matter, and just allow yourself to be. So let's go ahead and take that deep breath in. And out. You are powerful, and there's so much that you can do. The world is happening, but it's just an experience. Focus within and become the rising tide that lifts all ships. Well, thank you so much for listening. I hope this episode was a different perspective for you. I had to think of it a few different ways to deliver it, and I hope this one was the right way that found you at the right time. If you want to make sure you don't miss a single episode, make sure you subscribe to my email list. There's a link in the description. It will keep you up to date with every single episode. And if you want to follow me on social media, there's my Instagram and TikTok down below. So I appreciate all the follows there. There's also the Positive Mindset Facebook group. You can join the link below for that as well. Well, thank you so much for listening. Have a great day, and I can't wait to talk to you next time.